Cristiano Ronaldo, quite simply one of the most spectacular players that not just the Premier League's seen, but English football's ever seen.
He's so gifted footballer.
A moment of genius.
An extraordinary player, an extraordinary season.
Physically, he's an incredible athlete.
A scarily great athlete.
Staggering, just staggering.
His array of skills, enhanced with his pace, his goal-scoring ability. He's also very, very good in the air.
There's nobody, and that includes Leo Messi, who shoots on goal better than he does.
Unbelievable!
He's got a talent that sets him apart from almost every other player.
He can do everything on a football pitch, everything and more.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo!
Okay, so the lore is that Manchester United played Sporting Lisbon. Sir Alex saw this guy, said he's really good, said we have to sign him, and boom, he became a United player just like that. It's fiction.
I remember being on a pre-season tour with Manchester United, doing all the games live in America, and Carlos Queiroz had just left as the assistant manager.
He'd left Old Trafford to become manager of Real Madrid. He got a call from Sporting Lisbon saying, hey, listen, we want someone to open the new rebuilt stadium, which he wouldn't be able to get Man United. And he said, no problem. So he rang Alex Ferguson and said, yeah, Carlos, you know, no problem at all if it's for you.
And we always remember having a coffee with a local journalist who used to cover sport in Lisbon, telling us about the squad, and he said, we have a 17-year-old called Ronaldo. And I remember saying to him, I've been to lots of European clubs where people have told me about players called Ronaldo. He said, I'm sure you have, but this guy is special. Being the cynic sometimes that I am, I thought, yeah, there's another Ronaldo. And within about 5 minutes, he'd had about 3 of the Manchester United players on their backside.
Man of the match by a mile is Cristiano Ronaldo.
And we started to think, who is this kid? And at the end of the game, we flew back with the team, and I know for a fact that 2 or 3 members of Manchester United's senior first team squad had gone to the front of the plane and said to Sir Alex Ferguson,
Boss, you just get this guy.
That's one of the best young talents we have ever played against. We should sign him.
And he said, don't worry, I'm aware of him.
And unbeknown to us, Sir Alex later told me that Manchester United knew all about him.
United had scouted him for a long time.
And Ferguson
had an option on him that they were going to sign him 12 months later when he was basically 18 and a half. After that game, which was shown across Europe, I'm told the leading giants, the Real Madrids, the Juventuses, the AC Milans, were on to Sporting Lisbon, and they went back to Manchester United and said, listen, if you don't take him now, he's going to go somewhere else. So they brought that agreement forward 12 months, and 2 weeks later, Cristiano Ronaldo was a Manchester United player.
Well, a scrawny Portuguese kid turned up for a relatively big transfer fee, £13 million at the time, I think, £13.2 million.
It was a bargain, 12.5 million, something like that. It was a great fee.
On the basis of one performance against Manchester United.
The players have raved about him. Sir Alex Ferguson has as well, after the performance he put in for Sporting Lisbon against Manchester United in a pre-season friendly.
I think at the time he arrived, with David Beckham leaving, they needed a bit of star quality to continue, you know, and I think people were hanging their hopes on this young lad.
I was quite taken aback by just how sort of skinny and really quite fragile looking he was. He didn't look like a Premier League player to me.
It gives Manchester United's number 7 his introduction to life at Old Trafford.
There's certain shirts, Newcastle number 9, Liverpool number 7. Manchester United's number 7 is one of those shirts in football. It's an iconic shirt. Your Cantona's, your Brian Robsons, David Beckham. And interestingly, they gave that straight to Cristiano Ronaldo at 17 years of age to follow David Beckham.
The new shining hope at Old Trafford. One of the most expensive teenagers in the game at £12 million. The manager believes it'll be a worthy investment. This is our first chance to assess that layout of money.
He made his debut against Bolton Wanderers. Bolton were losing, and they probably saw this young foreign 17-year-old come on and think, well, that's better than Ryan Giggs coming on, and he just ripped them apart, and he had people off their seats within minutes of his introduction.
Here's Ronaldo. Hunt gets tight to him.
Now, again, they'd seen a lot of players who could do things on the training pitch but couldn't transfer it into a first-team game. Not only could he transfer it into a first-team game, he did it instantly as a 17-year-old.
Such confidence in one so young on such a big stage.
You wouldn't expect a teenager making his debut for United to have the confidence to go and try that.
Dazzling. I mean, you remember that. And you thought this guy is just going to take this whole league by the scruff of the neck.
Ronaldo. Oh, look at this.
And he never looked back. He was tailor-made for that shirt, and David Beckham was forgotten a lot quicker than perhaps many people thought.
Well, I think Ronaldo had so many tricks that he wanted to sort of showcase them all, you know, in one game. You know, and that's why he wasn't always the most effective. You know, he would come in and he would do 10 step-overs and he had 20 yards of space.
Yeah, I can remember asking, does he think you get a goal for every 20 step-overs?
Somebody once said, if it takes you more than one step over to beat somebody, then you shouldn't be doing the step-overs.
It could actually result in losing the ball.
We must have used the word show pony more than it had ever been used before or since to describe his first 15 months at Old Trafford. So many of us in my profession kind of wrote him off.
He really should go in for a dancing competition one of these days.
And I think people branded him arrogant because he was taking the mick out of defenders. He was literally doing tricks and going past them, and defenders would kick him for it.
The hero on previous visits to Old Trafford, the villain this time.
So I think Sir Alex drummed it into him like, that ain't good enough in the Premier League. That's not going to cut the cloth for the fullbacks that play in the Premier League, because you know, they will take you out if they start messing around in front of him. Imagine Julian Dix playing there against him. It wouldn't last 5 minutes.
That era was hard, you know, was physically demanding. The tackles were fast and furious.
This is a time when the team that's just won the league in Arsenal is full of people at 6'4", who weigh 14 stone. The invincibles were not just invincible in football, they were physically as well. I remember interviewing him within about 3-4 months of his time at Manchester United, and he was struggling to get in the team, he was struggling with the language, he missed home.
I'm not sure he could deal with that in his first season or so.
Alex Ferguson wanted his natural ability to be seen on a football pitch. He bought him for the tricks, for the step-overs, but he knew that he could take that to an extra level if he could make sure that those tricks worked for the team in the right way. He explained to him that everyone is out to get you, everyone is looking for you to fail, everybody sees you as the enemy.
And now Ronaldo. No foul given against Jordan, plenty of rolling around by the Portuguese.
You've got to rise above it, you've got to be stronger in your mentality. And the best way he could wear an opponent down is not by rolling around on the ground and appealing to the referee, is to get up and just get on with it.
And I think, you know, that's when, you know, he suddenly learned, you know, that he had to maybe just curtail that slightly.
He had to get stronger to withstand what he was receiving from some defenders, and that was something Alex Ferguson instilled in him.
He matured physically, became a lot stronger, got used to the Premier League.
Ronaldo. Oh, and this will know that's a chance. What skill that is.
He really started to grow up.
He could ride challenges now. He could take the kicks that he inevitably got because of his skill.
In a row, it looks as if there'll be no silverware heading to the Arsenal trophy cabinet. Ronaldo felled cruelly.
His accuracy in passing had upped by 200-300%. Therefore, he never gave possession of it.
Lovely skill again from Cristiano Ronaldo. And it's a lovely ball to the back post to pick out Ryan Giggs.
Beautiful play this from Cristiano Ronaldo.
The kicks he used to get, the scars he's got all over his legs. Believe me, he took some punishment on the football pitch more than anybody else in that Manchester United team, because he was the biggest threat.
He was one of the bravest players you will ever see.
We started to see a player become a supreme athlete.
He'd done so much work in the gym that I would barely recognise him from the boy I'd met.
Ronaldo!
His whole upper body strength, I think, had almost doubled.
Astonishing! Quite astonishing!
The shy, self-doubting kid had become a man.
Under the guidance of Sir Alex Ferguson and all the great players around him at Manchester United, he learned how to play the game.
There was one goal he scored, he sort of passed it back behind his leg.
Ronaldo!
But he did it with so much power, nobody could quite understand how he did it.
Out of this world!
He did things with a football that were new to a generation of football fans.
Really in contention here. They'll find Rooney.
You earn the right to shoot through your teammates' trust in you and putting you in those positions. It's an old adage, you don't shoot, you don't score. But you earn the right to shoot.
And Ronaldo in a position here. Oh, so cool, so calm.
So what Cristiano did was he became almost the fulcrum of Manchester United's attacking force. Even if it was 0-0 in '89, there's something Cristiano could do that would change that. Effectively, United had found, their game breaker.
Shot, and was denied by Niemi, and Ronaldo! Yes! Nani's corner. Ronaldo with the header. Ronaldo with the hit, and the goal!
Sit back, watch, admire. This is football of the highest calibre. Drops for Ronaldo. Lovely disguise, lovely finish. It's 5.
Some selfless runs he used to make. He even tracked back in his last 2 seasons, I mean, something that he never did before.
Ronaldo running into Milner.
He turned into the ultimate team player in the end.
Sponsored by Bet365.
At his peak at Manchester United, he was actually inventing things on the field. He was inventing free kicks that had never been taken before.
It's Ronaldo, and it's there! Wonderful goal!
We've all seen David Beckham swerve them in, put them in the top corner, but what he did with the ball.
A lot of people are good at free kicks, saying that you just concentrate on getting it over the wall and down again and hope for the best. But he went way beyond that, There was one against Fulham. It was front on, he hit it. It changed direction twice in 22 metres. As it goes past him, the keeper's shoulders have sagged because he's thinking, what?
It's an absolute belter.
It probably should have been booked for ungentlemanly conduct.
Portsmouth at home, David James was in goal, and Cristiano put the ball down 30 yards out, and you thought, even he's not going to try it. Surely not. But he probably is, but he's not going to score.
And David James will be fully aware of the threat here as well. But he's in such confident form at the moment that you would not bet a penny against him dispatching this.
Unbelievable!
This ball moved in a way that probably a lot of people hadn't seen at the time.
So he gets it up and he gets it down. That is just phenomenal.
And I think David James had blinked by the time it went past him.
David James just can't get nowhere near that.
You remember thinking, that's something we've not really seen before, and how on earth do you do that? And that's when the whole analysis came of how differently does he strike a football?
I know how he does it, but I couldn't do it. As in, I know what he's doing. He will take to the middle, to the top of the football and strike it from there.
It's not as straightforward to say the outside of the foot, and it's not as straightforward to say the laces of the foot.
Where you inflate the ball, you would turn that because there's a little valve there. The ball would fly for so far, then it would suddenly vary because the valve had to pop back out.
A bit like playing snooker, you put a little bit side, so if you're whipping the ball in, you'd hit the right hand side of the ball, outside of your foot. If you want to get the ball up in the air to keep it to the basics, you'd hit the bottom. You know, to get the middle to the top of the ball is how you get it up and how you get it to dip.
So effectively what he was doing was he was indenting the valve. So the ball circumference literally changed.
But I can't do it.
Plenty have tried and failed.
Stubbed my toes in the floors, we kicked the floors, we topped it, we went over the bars, hit the water. Couldn't do it.
Must have been doing it in training one day and thought, hang on, what did I do that was different there? And then he just found it.
So how he does it, I know, but physically can't do it.
He then changed again. Goalkeepers have watched hours of DVD footage. You think, I know what he's going to do. He's either going to hit it down my throat and he's going to move, or he's going to go top left corner.
Ronaldo, oh, staggering!
Started hitting balls that dipped so fiercely, and he was scoring in the bottom corner. And so you're standing and all of a sudden the ball goes in your bottom right corner and you're thinking, hang on a second, I just figured him out. Any chance?
But he could hit any sort of free kick.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo!
Free kick techniques to suit all occasions.
And because he had such power in his legs, the distance didn't really matter.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo, he has got the goal! And he's done it! A century of Manchester United goals for Cristiano Ronaldo. Fantastic finish!
It turns out that at training, he would never head the ball. The other United players thought that Cristiano's view of heading was that it was something that you did if you were, a workman. It was beneath him almost. Why should I head the ball when I have these feet type thing? They would tease him about it in training, and it got to the point where it wasn't really funny anymore because in games, he was so used to not being in a position of heading the ball that he wouldn't do it.
Ronaldo, wonderful football, capped by an exquisite finish.
One of the coaching team had a little word with him and said, you know what, you could play as a striker in the English game and you could get 10 goals a season with your head. And Chris, so he thought, hang on, I'm missing the trick here. So he started to do it in training and the boys started to say, you're going to mess your hair up, son, you're going to mess your hair up. It gets to that point in that breakthrough season where he scores a goal, I think it was his first headed goal against Wigan. As a celebration, he actually just pointed to his hair as if to say, look, I didn't even mess my hair up.
You should watch his headers.
His power in the air was quite phenomenal.
This time, and a goal, and it's Cristiano Ronaldo again.
He was as good as Drogba. He was Stanley Matthews, Tom Finney and Nat Lofthouse. He was everything at once.
His sheer physical presence make him a nightmare to defend against. You'd be setting up and you'd be marking the defenders and the strikers. But he's almost impossible to mark because he's lightning quick.
Gets away from Alonso and that's disappointing from Alonso's point of view. And he gets up there, great leap.
There's players who come from Southern Europe who sort of gravitate to this idea of Real Madrid and Barcelona. The players who come from sort of Scandinavia and Northern Europe, for them it's Manchester United. And I think Cristiano Ronaldo always had this dream of playing for Real Madrid.
That was his team. They were the people he looked up to. That was his ultimate dream, to play for Real Madrid.
And he wanted to go a year before he actually did.
I think he genuinely felt that he had achieved everything he could and he wanted to try something different.
Subsequently, we found out that he had a long sort of father and son chat, if you like, with Sir Alex Ferguson.
Rather than giving him any kind of telling off or no chance or whatever, I actually said to him, look, you get protected here and you're given a platform which you will never have again in your career. But I understand you want to do something different. So I think what's best for you is one more season with Manchester United. You will become a better player, you'll be a year older, you'll be much better suited to go to Real Madrid because I can assure you, once you go there, son, it's a bear pit. Cristiano, he completely respected that. He thought, you know what, this guy and this club have given me so much, they've made me who I am, and that's why Real Madrid want me, that yeah, the Bernabeu will still be standing next summer, so I'll do it.
1-0.
Going into his final season, it was a shame really because he had aggravated to leave, he'd made it public. He turned Manchester United fans against him, and it was a shame that it was going to end this way.
And Ronaldo delivers 2-1.
When Sir Alex convinced him to play for another year, he showed tremendous strength of character, I think, to continue to play at the level he did, knowing really that his heart was elsewhere.
You could not go back to one of those games that year and go, well, look at Ronaldo there, he had his mind on his move to Real Madrid. Complete opposite. They both kept their side of the bargain, they both got what they wanted, because Ronaldo got 20-odd goals that season and a Premier League title and a medal.
It's 5-0 to Manchester United!
And then he got his move to Real Madrid, and Manchester United got the £80 million. So it was a very amicable parting of the ways.
I think towards the tail end of that season, I think you could see a little bit. There was a little bit in his eyes, you know, that he wasn't enjoying it as much. And very, very tellingly, I remember in Rome, after they were beaten in the Champions League final, Sir Alex had told every player that they must travel in the full United suit, ties on, club badge, blazers. And Cristiano came out of the hotel to go on the team bus. And he had no tie. His shirt was unbuttoned down here. And I thought to myself, that picture tells its own story. He's no longer a Manchester United player, not in his head anyway.
I kind of feel that had Ronaldo played for any club other than Manchester United, I think there was a very real risk that he might not, I mean, he would have still developed, but he would not have developed as quickly.
Here goes Cristiano Ronaldo in familiar style, and in familiar style he scored.
He could be somebody with talent, you just never saw it, never achieved.
It's Ronaldo, and it's absolutely top draw.
And the reason being is, obviously, we know who's in charge at United.
And I can remember talking to Ferguson. One of the questions I was asked to ask him was, who are the great players of your time in charge? This was in the show pony era. And he went through the usual suspects of, you know, Rooney, Scholes, Cantona, Keane. And then he said, oh, and Ronaldo. He will be great.
Good curl one in here. Whipped in with pace and straight in!
And I said, oh, yeah. He said, because of what he does in the most difficult position on the field.
Ronaldo, what excitement when he's on the ball.
The wide player really has to think, has to be resourceful, has to work out what to do when it's not happening, when they've closed him off.
Ronaldo with those tricks.
That and bravery, that'll make him into a great player.
Ronaldo stumbles over Belletti, comes back for more, takes him down.
Beckham's superstardom celebrity, if you like, a lot of it was made up of his lifestyle and his marriage and everything else. Cristiano's superstardom comes from football. It comes from people adoring him for wanting to watch him play with a ball. Only people like Messi, Maradona, Pele, Cruyff can you put in that category of people who do things with the ball that the rest of us can just dream about. And that makes Sheed special.